In 2021, Taylor Holder went viral with a single video. By 2022, he was sitting broke on a bench in Brooklyn. His brand deals cut off overnight, his name dragged through the media. Just a year earlier, he was a rising star. Now, a ghost on the feed. They called Charli D'Amelio the queen of TikTok. Millions of followers, millions of likes. But behind the scenes, loneliness, pressure, panic attacks. Everyone knows the routines, but no one sees the sadness behind the smile, whispers a close friend. TikTok, the app that makes dreams come true and can just as easily shatter lives. TikTok isn't just an app, it's an addiction in your pocket. Over 1 billion people scroll through endless content every day. Dances, comedy sketches, makeup hacks. In 60 seconds, your life can change or disappear. Stardom came without degrees, no studios, just a phone, an idea, and a bit of luck. Charli D'Amelio, KB Lame, Addison Rae, names that once meant nothing, now global brands worth millions. But what happens when the lights fade? When the algorithm no longer favors you? Behind the screen lies a world most people never see. A world where performance matters more than personality, where the pressure to stay relevant outweighs the fame itself. This documentary doesn't just show what TikTok has become, it shows what it does to people. Beyond the filters, behind the viral hits. Because fame comes at a price. And sometimes, that price is a deadly silence. Picture this. A teenage girl in a messy bedroom in New Jersey. She props her phone against a stack of books, picks a trending sound, and hits record. No studio, no lighting, just her, a phone, and a dream. Within 2 hours, 100,000 views. Within a week, a brand deal. Within a month, fame. TikTok exploded in 2019 like a digital wildfire. By 2020, in the heart of the pandemic, it became an escape from reality. Lockdowns forced people indoors. TikTok brought them out, virtually at least. Suddenly, anyone could become famous. No connections, no degree, just one swipe away from being somebody. The new Hollywood now fit in your pocket. Teenagers turned from students into brand ambassadors. Bedrooms became film sets. Families moved into content houses. Mansions packed with creators, cameras, and shooting schedules. The industry smelled money, and TikTok delivered. Influencer marketing became a billion-dollar business. Young people became walking brands. The line between human and product started to blur, but it all happened fast. Too fast. How do you stay relevant when the algorithm skips you? How do you survive when your views start to drop? The dream became reality, and the reality became work. Every post mattered. Every single day. No breaks. No rest. It wasn't a fairy tale, it was a rocket launch, with no parachute. Imagine this. You're 15. You wake up with your phone still in your hand. Not to read a text from a friend, but to check how many people watched you. And whether it was enough. Enough for your manager. Enough for your followers. Enough for the algorithm. Asamayalu, who once had 3.2 million followers at her peak, recalls, "I had panic attacks every day. My heart would race if a notification didn't come through. I was too scared to take a break." The pressure doesn't just come from the outside. It grows inside. In a system where you're taught your value is measured in numbers, likes, shares, growth. And once you start growing, they want more. More reach, more engagement, more versions of yourself, performed for an audience that never stops scrolling. According to a 2021 report from the American Psychological Association, 63% of young content creators show signs of anxiety or depression. A Harvard study confirms, the younger the creator, the higher the risk of burnout and chronic stress. Picture a girl crying in her bedroom, ring lights still glowing, while her parents downstairs think she's just making content. Burnout at 15 isn't rare anymore. It's a trend. Therapists report a surge of teens struggling with identity loss, social anxiety, and performance pressure, all driven by a world where likes weigh more than self-worth. A creative upload, a camera, a viral hit. What started as fun turned into a silent cry for help, and no one heard it. And as the likes keep rolling in, another reality quietly takes over. She's no longer the girl with a dream. She's the product expected to keep delivering. Invisible to the audience, visible only in the stats. What starts as personal pressure often ends in corporate exploitation. Those who go viral young get attention, but not always protection. Take the case of Leah and Lou, a French TikTok duo who signed a glittering contract in 2021. On paper, a dream deal. In reality, a straitjacket. Every video had to be approved, every caption rewritten, every day scheduled by people they barely knew. We were available 24/7, not as people, but as products, says Lou. Their manager demanded their passwords, chose their background music, dictated their tone of voice, even their clothing. If Lou deviated from the script, she'd be fined. I wasn't even allowed to say what I really thought, says Leah. They rewrote my words. Everything had to sound like perfect Leah. According to Mediapart, there are at least 6 well-known cases in which young creators were forced to work unpaid under threat of legal action. In Los Angeles, a lawsuit is underway against an agency that allegedly claimed more than 40% of underage creators' earnings, with no financial transparency. What looked like collaboration from the outside was, in reality, a web of control. The freedom they thought they were signing up for turned out to be an illusion. Young creators became brands, managed, edited, and if necessary, replaced. And that's where the next chapter begins. An algorithm that decides who shines and who fades. TikTok's algorithm isn't just a neutral line of code. It's an invisible director, deciding what you see and who gets seen. Every swipe, every like, every second you pause, it's tracked. Not just to improve your experience, but to shape your behavior. In 2022, a leaked ByteDance document revealed that employees could whitelist or blacklist videos, not based on quality, but on preference. Halana Truth shares, "My body-positive videos disappeared from the feed after just one comment, but sensual videos, they kept going." An investigation by Forbes confirmed that videos featuring people with disabilities, people of color, or members of the LGBTQ+ community received less visibility. The algorithm was reportedly designed to suppress controversial content, to keep advertisers happy. In South Korea, a 2023 parliamentary inquiry was launched into the app's promotion of appearance-based content. The algorithm has created a beauty standard that's no longer even human, said sociologist Hyejin Kim. An algorithm that defines beauty, that decides who gets heard and who vanishes into the digital shadows. But what happens when the algorithm not only controls visibility, but determines vulnerability? When digital preference becomes exposure to attention that's young, innocent, watched by eyes that are anything but. A 12-year-old girl, she lip syncs to a trending sound. The camera's rolling, tens of thousands of views. But behind the likes, toxic attention, invisible eyes, and comments no filter can block. The comments were disgusting, says Sophie, 14. I didn't know so many adults would be watching. The 5 Rights Foundation found that TikTok removed only a small fraction of inappropriate comments under videos featuring minors. In one case, over 400 explicit comments remained, even after being reported. Videos of children are widely shared and saved, often without consent. A study by the NSPCC revealed that over 30% of these videos were downloaded by adult users. I felt dirty, says Noor, 13. My face was being shared in Facebook groups. My mom took everything offline. TikTok claims it has protection measures in place, but in reality, the algorithm often ranks these videos higher because of the engagement, regardless of the source. Behind the screen, there was no applause, just silence, panicked parents, shocked kids, and a platform that just kept scrolling. And while that silence lingered in children's bedrooms, something else began to grow in the background. Not a cry for help, but a hunger for more. Not consciously chosen, but carefully engineered. Addiction. TikTok is built on the same principles as the gambling industry. Every swipe is a chance at a reward. Every video, a hit of dopamine. Teens aren't just getting addicted, they're being made addicted. Research from Stanford shows that these dopamine spikes mirror those experienced in casinos. The constant feedback loop is behavioral conditioning in its purest form. My daughter had withdrawal symptoms when she wasn't allowed to scroll, says Anya, a mother. Crying fits, shaking, panic. According to Common Sense Media, 62% of teens aged 13 to 17 feel restless or down after just an hour of scrolling. Stopping? For most, it's not even an option. In Germany, a lawsuit has been underway since 2023 against TikTok for systematically promoting addiction. Lawyers argue that the app intentionally uses psychological triggers to influence young users' behavior. What started as an entertaining app became a digital injection, daily, unconscious, and inescapable. But after the injection comes the emptiness. An emptiness not filled by likes, but by fatigue, confusion, and dependency. And when even that stops working, there's only one path left: a shot at recovery, or a silent goodbye. After mounting public pressure, TikTok announced new safety measures in 2022. Stronger oversight of child accounts, stricter moderation, and digital well-being features. But critics remain skeptical. They're band-aids on an open wound, said one ethicist in The Guardian. The real issue lies in the business model. As long as views generate profit, exploitation remains profitable. Some influencers decided to step back. Nessa Barrett deleted her account after publicly opening up about suicidal thoughts. Bella Poarch spoke candidly about her loneliness and self-hate. Lil Huddy admitted on a podcast that he battled depression under constant pressure. Sienna Mae Gomez shared raw videos documenting her mental breakdown. Others started giving talks at schools, but most remained silent, out of fear, out of shame, or because they simply couldn't walk away. "I wanted to quit," said one former TikToker, "but I didn't know who I was without the numbers." While lawsuits unfold in the US, Europe, and Australia, the algorithm keeps spinning every second of every day. For every influencer who burns out, there are 10 more ready to take their place. The machine keeps running, unshaken, unstoppable. Maybe the real question isn't what TikTok is doing to us. Maybe the question is, why are we letting it? We hand children a stage, but we don't protect them. We crave content, applaud the loudest voices, and when they break, we just keep scrolling. TikTok isn't a villain with a face. It's a mirror. It shows us what we want to see, but also everything we're missing. "I felt like a puppet in a machine that only worked when I looked happy," shared one anonymous former creator. Maybe the solution isn't in the technology. Maybe it's in us. Black screen. Silence. The echo of likes fades. The camera stops. But in their minds, the scrolling never ends. No pause. No off switch. Did you find this story compelling? Leave a comment, drop a like, and subscribe to our channel. Together, we'll keep uncovering what's really going on. Behind the applause,